a few words on Invest Info. This is the page that was put up by one of the men of the GMS New York camp, and he's into ways of making money, credit, making videos so you can understand how money works. The scriptures speak of money being a defense. Anyway, I'm listening to. I'm like almost 10 minutes in. Well, I'm almost a minute away from the 10-minute and 38-second mark, which is the end of the video. I'm at 9-minute and 53-second mark, and I find myself putting in a bunch of comments. One comment I put in was rich dad, poor dad, because the brother or the priest, he had mentioned it, so I put in that. I remember when that book came out. I don't know, 20, 25, maybe 30 years ago. He had a infomercial. That's when the infomercials were big at that time. And this Ammonite, he would do a infomercial on the book. 3 in the morning. I would wake up 3 in the morning. I would just kind of watch it. Anyway, I don't know how many copies the book sold, but I'm pretty sure it sold millions of copies. But you can get the book on certain sites for like $1, or you can listen to it on go to YouTube. What I did was I put the link for the audio book, and I believe if you go on the page, it's like 3 hours and change long. But anyway, I'm doing this video just to tell you it would be a good idea to invest in this page, Invest Info, so you get an idea of how money works. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have any money, you're out. The best word to use is you're out. The reason why people are homeless is because they don't have money, or they have very little money. They don't have enough money to, let's say, I don't know, $800 a month, $1,000 a month. They don't have that money. And if they had that money to run a place, how much food do they have in their houses? The scriptures, I noticed Jake mainly in the hood. Seems like our attention is on the hood because we're around the hood. You might have had a girl that lived deep in the hood. You have relatives that live in the hood. A lot of us grew up in the hood. A lot of us are still in the hood. A lot of us are a little bit better than the hood. In other words, we live in a better condition because we have a certain job. Not that we're living rubbing elbows with the super rich. But, money, at the end of the day, money is, I'm ranting a little bit, but money is important, man. There's a situation with brothers in the camp outside the country, and I guess it has to do with the way the economy is in that country, and maybe the COVID. So these brothers needed help, so we helped them. We sent the money, and other brothers, I'm not going to mention all the camps, but they sent money. But the thing is, you got to know how to make money. Now they may not be in a situation where they can make money, or the way the economy is, they're just catching hell. But up here in the States, you can always make money. You can always make money. You know, I remember when I first came into the truth some years in, you know, I was working. There was times where I had a job, and then there was times that I didn't have a job, but I always had a hustle. I was always able to basically buying and selling. You know, I would go to the wholesalers downtown. You know, you would buy by the dozen, then you would just set up. I remember I was in Harlem, and I used to sell stuff in Harlem. And you have your good days and you have your bad days. You know, if you have 2 bad days, the third day, the Most High will bless you with a good day to cover those 2 bad days. You know, the Apostle Paul said he knows how to abound and how to be abased. I'm merely paraphrasing what the Apostle Paul said. And myself and the other apostles, we all been in that situation, man. Where the blessings came in, and there was times where we didn't have blessings at all. We were struggling, man. And that builds up character. But you should I keep saying to subscribe to this page, Invest Info, but I keep when I say it, the word comes to my mind. You should invest in Invest Info because it's an investment. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying your goal is to try to be rich, super rich. And that was a problem at One West with the leadership. It was all about money, and there was a point where the money came into school. But that's when niggas really lost it, man. When they started getting money, they started acting crazy, man. See, the apostles, the elders. You know, we can tell you stories because we actually been there. We've been a part of those stories, man. Before brothers came into money, they were humble. They were out there. Like, I'll give you the example of Yashawan. You know, when Yashawan was struggling, he was always out there speaking. When they came into money, they wasn't speaking no more. They wasn't out there on the highways and the byways. Because they were busy making more money. And the reason why they made more money, because they were spending more money. They were buying. See, the thing with a Jake, I mean, I'm all over the place, so I'm basically thinking out loud. The reason why Jake, there's many, Allen Iverson. I don't keep up with NBA, the NBA too much. I mean, I watch it, you know, when it comes close to the championship games, the conferences, and now we're in the championship, the Heat versus the Lakers. You know, Lakers led by LeBron James. But anyway, LeBron, he seems like once he retires, I mean, the missiles are going to come before that comes. But let's say he retires, he'll be one of those cats that'll still be making money. Hey, Sugar Ray Leonard, that dude is still a millionaire. All his contemporaries, for the most part, are either dead or broke. Like Tommy Hearns is broke. I'm thinking of some other. Marvin Hagler is still doing good. But you have a lot of boxers that I went to gyms and I have met former world champions that are doing good. But there's some former world champions that are fucking dead broke because they didn't know how to manage their money. Going back to the NBA, I believe that there's something on 30/30. It's on ESPN. You might be able to catch it on YouTube. Go to YouTube, and there's one, if I'm not mistaken, on the 30/30 or whatever the series is called, about going broke. And most of them sport legends that went broke were mostly Jake. You know, Ali, the reason why he fought past his prime, because as soon as he got money, he was spending, he was blowing it, man. You know, you got to think past the future, or think to the future. You know, when you got to know how to make money, you know, for yourself, and then you got to know how to make enough money where you help another brother. And I've been in plenty situations where I had money and I always helped brothers. I remember one situation, I found $700, and there was a spirit. The spirit told me, I said, look down. And I looked down and there was some money down there. I picked it up and I counted it. It was $700, but I didn't need it because I was working, and you know, all my bills were paid. Another thing, paying your bills, pay your bills, man. I had to take that from Lean On Me. Morgan Freeman made that statement. He's playing Joe Clark. He took $1. He said, "You're gonna sell out on me, huh?" And he took $1 bill out of his pocket and put it on some Jake's head and said, "Pay your bills, man." But anyway, I was paying my bills. And by the way, my credit is good. Anytime I get something that they do a credit check, as soon as they put it in, boom, it pops up. And they always say the same thing. He said, "You must have good credit." I said, "Why do you say that?" Because as soon as I put your information, it just popped right up. Because what I did in the past is, when I got credit cards, when I got my first credit card, I maxed it out. Believe it or not, it was $2,000. This was years ago. It was $2,000, and I went crazy with it, and I maxed it out. And I said, "Oh well, I gotta pay." So I paid the minimum. Then I got another card. Then I got another card. Once you get one card and you establish credit, they're gonna send you another card, and they're gonna send you another card, and they're gonna send you another card. Then, as your credit grows, they're gonna up the how much, I can't even. They're gonna up the price on the credit card. Like if you got a $500 limit, you establish good credit, they'll up it to 1,000. Then they'll up it to 2,000. I remember one time years ago, it was through the bank I was dealing with. They said, "You know what? You got good credit. We're willing to give you a credit card for $10,000." And I said, "What?" I said, "What's the interest rate?" The APR, well, not the APR, damn, can't even think of that. You got the annual percentage rate, APR. Yep, APR. And then you have annual percentage yield, which is like if you open up an account, you yield interest because you put money in the bank. If you take out a loan, you have a percentage rate that you got to pay them. So I said, what's the APR? and the woman said 7%. And I said, I'll take it. And now when I got it, they said it was 8. I think it was 8.25%. And I got pissed off. I said, I ain't using this goddamn card. Fuck this damn card. But I had it. Never use it once. And it took maybe 3 years. You know what they did? They sent me a nasty letter, a corporate letter. They didn't curse. But they said, we're canceling your account with this particular card on the grounds that you basically haven't used it. Because that's how they make money. And that's explained in this video right here. That's how they make money. When they give you $10,000, they get it out of thin air. Well, what they do is, let me explain this. And I'm pretty sure in future videos, the brother, I'm not even gonna mention his name, the brother or the priest, he'll go into it. Well, he went into it somewhat in this video. Anyway, anytime you go to a bank, commercial bank, whatever, they get their money, they borrow their money from a bank of issue. A bank of issue is a Federal Reserve. You hear about the Federal Reserve, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the New York Federal Reserve. Now what banks do is they get loans from the Federal Reserve, which in a nutshell, they go to the Treasury goes to the printer, they print up money. Basically they're making money out of thin air. See, when they give you a credit card, that's nothing but a loan. That's nothing but a loan. All credit cards are nothing but loans. And but it's an ongoing loan. You use it, you pay, you pay the principal, you pay the interest. If there's a certain thing, if you pay it before the 30-day period, there's no interest. But normally, whatever you have to use a card for, you're going to have to pay. It might take you 5 months to pay it off, a year. So you're paying that interest. You're paying a minimum until you pay it off. But anyway, the bank of issue, which is the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank, issues money out of thin air to these commercial banks. And your commercial banks and it's all commercial. It's all commercial. Whether you go to a bank up the street, it's all commercial. Anyway, they get the money at the interest. Right now, the interest is what? 0%, which they call what is this term? Quantitative easing. And they've been doing this for years. I guess they've been doing this for the last 15, 20 years, which is destroying the dollar because it's weakening the value of the dollar. Anyway, I don't want to make this long, but I'm kind of ranting because these thoughts are coming, my experiences are coming back to me. So that money, that card that they issued me, had $10,000 on it, but it came from thin air, because their thing was for me to go out and spend it so they can get 7% of the 10,000, no matter how I spend it. So they get the $10,000 back, which is really nothing. They make their money from the interest. They make their money from the interest. Now the scriptures speak about the year of Jubilee. Look that up. And the year of release. And the reason why you have, last I checked, was almost $27 trillion. Now this clown, Joe Biden, He fails to bring it up. All you got to do is say, well, look, let's look at the debt that you acquired in your 3.5 years of being president. I'm talking about Trump. They never bring it up. They never bring it up. The debt when Barack Obama left office was anywhere between 18 and 19 trillion. I believe it was 18 trillion. In 3.5 years, it went up. It went up almost $8 trillion. So it doubled what Barack Obama did in 4 years, maybe in 8 years. It doubled. The average during the time of the Barack Obama administration, it was about $1 trillion a year. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. With this guy, Trump, it's almost 27 trillion. So we're talking about almost 2 trillion a year, man. And they're not talking about it. Now coming back to the scriptures, right? The year of Jubilee is when if you borrowed something, it was forgiven you on the year of Jubilee, every 50 years. You got the 49, you got the 7 Sabbaths, yearly Sabbaths, which is 49 years going into the 50th year. Then you had a year of release, which was every 7 years. Oh, by the way, 7 years of release adds up to 49. So that 49th going into the 50th year, all debts were forgiven. So now when you go into the scriptures, it says don't say, if someone asks you to borrow, don't say it is the 6th year. Because even if he asks you in year number 6, year number 7, if he doesn't pay you back, then all bets are off. In other words, you're free from that debt. This is why this country is in a financially fucked up situation, because they haven't applied the principles of the year of release and the Jubilee. What they do at times in certain things, they'll have a statute of limitation where they got that from the scriptures, which is the year of release. But sometimes it'll be like 10 years. Okay, 10 years. That proves that this man's the devil, man. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Who's in rulership? Who's ruling this society? Esau, the wicked. So now in this video, Invest Info episode 4, are credit cards a valuable investment? Yes, if you know how to use them. If you know how to use them. I know certain people, they get a credit card, they max the shit out, don't pay it. They close the account, and they got bad debt. So when they want to buy a house or something like that, a brand new car, guess what? That's going to come up. You got terrible credit. Credit just means belief. I believe that you can pay it back. Anyway, I'm a little long. I want to try to I'm going to cut this short. All kind of scriptures come to mind. The year of release, the year of Jubilee. If they ask me, if they say, Elder Apostle Tahar, what would you say to fix this country, Babylon, financially? I mean, I wouldn't be in that position in the first place, but I'd say two things. I said the year of release and the year of Jubilee. Okay? I said you make next year, or you make this year the year of release, and you forgive all debts across the board. You don't owe nothing, you start from zero. Then the economy will grow, but the economy is not going to grow because this economic situation that we're in was planned that way. They're getting ready to do a reset, and they're going to institute the mark of the beast. You're going to pay everything through a blockchain system, through like you have Bitcoin. Now, I found out about Bitcoin. I've been going to particular supermarkets, and they have the what is this called, a Coinstar, I think it's called, where you take change and it turns it into dollars. They said you can actually buy Bitcoin from those machines. So I went on YouTube, and somebody said, yep, this is how you do it. You go there, you put the money in, blah blah blah, you get a receipt, and it gives you a number for the Bitcoin amount that you have, blase blase. But you know what the guy said? He said you don't even have to use a social security number. But he said you do have to show a driver's license. You gotta take a picture of both sides. I said, well, wait a minute, man. If the government, all they need is a picture of your fucking driver's license, and they can get, all they gotta do is go to the some in the DMV and say, what's this guy's social security number? And they get, this is a social security number. It's on the application. Every credit card that you get, you got to give your social security number. If you don't give them that, you don't get a card. But anyway, that Bitcoin, which is the blockchain, which is digital money. Shit, I was at BJ's last week. I got on the South Pay, and you can use cash. Then when I went earlier today, all of them said credit card, debit card, EBT, food stamp, and you needed a card. Wouldn't they totally eliminated the cash portion, where you can hit because they're quickly changing things over into what? A cashless society. And they're going to they're going to get you used to the digital world using cards, and they're going to take the cards and they're going to put them in your smartphones, which they're doing in certain parts of China, and then from the smartphone to your palm, they got a thing called, what's it called, Amazon One, where you pay with your palm. Basically takes a picture of your palm, and then that eventually is going to turn into the chip, where they're going to put a chip in your right hand, your left hand, your butt cheek, your forehead, where you can make purchases, and it's deducted from your account. You work at a particular job, you get X amount of credits. You go buy a pair of kicks. Let's say they're $200 kicks. You made $1,000, which is correct. That it goes out of your account. If you go through a red light, instead of they take a picture of you went through a red light, you don't got to go to court no more. Make your life easier. All they're gonna do is, we got a picture you going through a red light. We deducted $150 from your. That's why they want to do it, so they can have total control, complete control. Even this guy, what's this guy? Damn, Aaron something. Damn, the name is on the tip of my tongue. He did an interview with Alex Jones, Aaron Russo, and this interview goes back, I don't know, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, and he said that he had a discussion. He met this guy named Nick Rockefeller. Nick Rockefeller does exist. I went to Google. They showed pictures of him. But after that interview, they kind of said, "Oh, this guy doesn't exist." No, this guy does exist. I've seen pictures of him. Anyway, he explained to him that what they're going to do in the future, and this is before the World Trade Center. I believe he said we're going to, I could be wrong. You can go back and check me on that. I believe he said we're going to blow up the World Trade Center or something to that effect. Or he said we're going to use the World Trade Center to lead everybody to eventually, long story short, eventually we're going to get everybody to take the the microchip. He didn't say marketed beast. He said microchip. And he said if you don't comply, all they're going to do is turn off your chip. And you don't have anything. You can't do anything. And then Alex Jones said total control. All you got to do is put in Aaron Russo, Alex Jones interview, or put the part with the microchip, and you might get like a 10-minute segment. So this was said long before. Now within the last 2 years, 3 years, the whole microchip technology is out there, man. And these camps better get with the program, man. They better get with the program. You teaching that the mark of the beast is John 3:16 or Christianity or an embargo. Either you sold out or the Most High just haven't fully opened up your eyes. And it's a damn shame. And when it actually comes down to you got to go to the chipping station, you got to go to the doctor, you got to go to a pharmacy to get the chip in you, that's when your followers are gonna wake up and they're gonna scramble. Anyway, man, I did a lot of talking, man. I went into a rant. I was all over the place, but pretty much what I've been saying is pretty much information. And it's all about information. Anyway, I started off by plugging this YouTube page, but get into it. Go to Invest, 2 words, Invest Info on YouTube, and just subscribe to it, and you can learn some things about, money. Because at the end of the day, what does the scripture say? Money is a defense. Money answereth all things. Really, most things. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one. Shalom.